I think as traders, something we need to recognize is when signs that we are addicted to trading and things that are causing us to potentially overtrade and use trading as a means of feeling productive and feeling on task and feeling like you're getting somewhere, even when you're just taking stupid trades and hurting your progress rather than improving it. So the example here would probably be here in my journal. I found a spot last month where I took 8 trades in a week, and they were all losses. And as a beginner trader, after about 2 or 3 trades, at this point is where you can be significantly impacted psychologically with things like underconfidence, fear of losing even more money for the week, or just fear of being wrong again, because you know what that's going to do to your mindset of when you're always wrong. You're not going to feel good about trading. You're not going to want to trade because you just feel like you're going to get on the markets and take another loss. And this happens with beginners who don't understand that each trade is independent of each other, and a loss on one trade doesn't mean you're going to lose the next trade. In every case, however, sometimes it will if you trade in a bad state of mind, something's happened that week or whatever. But so some people that trade, I think the best traders and most traders, and you probably should, they find trading as something that doesn't take much friction for them to do it. They don't really need to go out of their way, and it's not really like a hard thing for them to do. So like, it's not a hard thing for them to take time out of the day and trade because they enjoy it. And people like that, that's where addiction over trading is most likely to come. And it's happened for me. And as a beginner trader, especially if you're impatient and you're trying to get rich quick off trading, these things can definitely happen to you. And the best thing you want to try and do is to offset some of the time you dedicate to trading to other things and find other ways to feel productive, whatever that is to you, whatever productive means to you. Find some other activities that tick that box as well, so that trading isn't always the forefront and it's sort of something that if you don't see a setup that pops out to you, then you're done. You can go do something else instead of you staying on the markets, because anything else you do you feel won't be productive, and just making up a random trade to happen even though it's not a valid setup, and convincing yourself it is. And this happened to me a lot at school, when I'm off task, when I'm maybe finished the work, or maybe it's really boring, something I already know, whatever. I look for a trade, and especially at school when you don't have as much time to go into your analysis, you're always being disrupted. Maybe you have to answer a question or get something down, and your analysis isn't really streamlined. There's a lot of breaks in it. Maybe you forget certain information. That's when I force trades the most, especially when you're on a time frame. You have to get, like, maybe have lunch, for example, and you need to try and enter before lunch, because you're gonna be outside at lunch, you're not gonna be on the markets at lunch, and you have to try and find a setup in like the next 10-15 minutes. And a lot of kids just force an entry within that time frame. Well, I don't know about a lot of the kids, but at least I did. And even though maybe the setup's valid, maybe an hour later or something, maybe you needed to wait longer, maybe it just wasn't on at all, and you just took a trade for the sake of it. So you can have that feeling, that good feeling, you're in lunch, you're like, oh, I could be up right now, I could be in profit, and you feel good. You feel good that you're in the running for a potential win. And that feeling is, you gotta stop craving that and chasing that, because you're purely just chasing the feeling instead of chasing profitability, chasing the good trades. It shouldn't be about the feeling, the good feeling of winning. It should be about taking the best setups like a robot. I've just got this set up on the screen. This was on just wanted to comment on this. This was last night in London, and I wanted to see at least a pullback. We took out these highs, formed a little rejection block in a 5 minute, wicked off, and I was looking for a trade into this order block. But I didn't take it because we had NFPs later that night and unemployment rate too. So I was thinking market was just going to chop around. Before that, and we see the big run down was off the back of news. So that's just probably a bit more luck than actual skill case, because easily could have just gone bullish. And this is just a quick little lesson in a lesson to try to trade. I feel like trading the session before news is dangerous, even on a pair that's not even USD. Trading before news, I feel like the markets like to hold out before news, the session before, and the big expansion from the day is probably going to come off the back of news. So we see we ran down a bit, and then we came back up again. So really overall consolidation, and then news is what sent price down. So I didn't take this trade because of that, because I thought it was going to chop around. After this point, we couldn't even break below these lows. We rejected off. It's 15 minutes of price action there, and I didn't like it. It was 9 o'clock now. So, but there's some good confluences there, and we're back to the lesson. So you gotta find other things, like I was saying, that make you feel productive. Other things to take your time up with. So for example, I took up drop shipping, and see here, it's my performance in 2 days. It's not bad. This is one of the first stores I ran properly, and I want to continue to do this when I get more money again. And but anyway, I wanted to do this so that I actually started this so I could offset some of my time that I'd spent trading and prevent over trading. And this worked well in terms of it's pretty successful, and that's just in 2 days. And I have the skills from this now that I can mimic again and scale up. But I also felt productive while doing it. And so when I was on the markets at the time and I didn't like a trade and see anything, I could just go over and work on some drop shipping stuff, and I'm still being productive. Because at this point, taking action, doing the skill is probably more productive to me than just watching a YouTube video about it. I've watched plenty of YouTube. I don't know everything I really need to know about strategy. And or another thing, you could get a job, part-time job. It offsets some time that you maybe take trading, but it also gives you a bit of coverage with money, so you don't need to rely on trading. Maybe trying to rush, get pass a funded, need to get this money, I want to get this, maybe I want to get a car, so you don't need money, and let's get a funded open, okay, I'm going to pass in a month, but at least when you have a job, and you're not trading, you're still getting a steady income, especially if you're young. And you're also offsetting some of that time, so it's two birds with one stone. So that's why it's a good idea. That's why I'm applying for a job right now, so that I can fund my drop shipping and also take some time out of trading whilst also feeling productive. So whatever it is for you, maybe allocate time for the gym, or maybe study time, things like that. It's different for everyone. What's productive to me might not be productive to you, and vice versa. But it's just the idea of just always feeling like you're being productive and not trading, so you can satisfy that and not forcing trades for that. So yeah, I think that's a common reason we get addicted and we overtrade as beginners. So that reason, and there's just some examples of some ways to prevent that, and you might have some others, but yeah, that's all I got.